welcome to Behind Them Sticks. This is your boy Ham Solo. I am with my very special guest today, Dirt Griggity. How you doing today, bro? What's going on?
Feeling good, man. Nothing much, bro. Thanks for inviting me on, man. I'm ready to have this conversation. Yeah, like I said, thanks again, bro.
Absolutely. It was, as I told you before the show, it was my pleasure inviting you on. Just had several other episodes that I needed to get taken care of and put out there that I had promises out for. So I'm happy to finally get to you. But let's go on ahead and get started. Let me ask you real fast, what gaming and social media platforms can people find you on so they can either game with you or just check out your content, yada yada? Go on ahead.
Well, I'm on Twitter a lot, which is at Griggity, Griggity. Also, my YouTube is Dirt Griggity. You know, I'm a pro Xbox channel. I do talk a lot of trash about PlayStation fanboys, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, stop by, say what's up to that. My gamer tag is Dirt Griggity 76, all one word. So yeah, man, just hit me up.
I feel that. What are you playing right now, though? Like, what's poppin'?
I'm trying to complete the gunk because I know the game is pretty short. So I was playing that. Trying to finish Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a great game. That game kind of surprised me because I didn't expect it to be this good. So yeah, that's another game. Of course, I'm playing a little Halo.
I did not expect it to be this
good. Great game, man.
Especially after the Avengers. Square Enix had me nervous, bro.
Exactly. It's a very good game, man. And I'm probably gonna start up Lost Judgment soon because I bought that game at launch. Didn't get a chance to play it, but probably play it. You know, start it off during this Christmas break that I'm on.
Okay, did you get big into like the Yakuza series and stuff like that?
No, you know, I never got big into the main series. But I tried out the first Judgment and I loved it. So I just bought this one, you know. But I never did play the Yakuza series though, which is kind of weird, right? I know this is a spin-off of the Yakuza series, but I never really got into the Yakuza series, but I probably will eventually.
For sure. They're all really good looking games. The cinematics in those games are like top notch for sure. But I mean, even for me, I'm not that big of a turn-based guy. So like some of those Yakuza games were just like a complete miss for me. But
the last one was turn-based,
that one was completely turn-based. So like I turned that on, played it for like 10 minutes, and I was like,
nope.
Nah.
This isn't for me, huh?
Nope. I'm not a turn-based guy, so you can miss me with like a lot of the Final Fantasies and stuff like that. You just can't do it. But that's cool. This is kind of an interesting question. Never really asked this on my show, but I gotta know, where did you get your name from? Where did this come from?
It's funny, man, because Dirt, you know, it's funny, my first name is Darius, right? And for whatever reason, back when I was a kid, my grandma could not say Darius. I have no idea why. She couldn't say Darius, and she put like 5 S's on the end of my name. I don't know why she couldn't say it. So she started calling me Dirt. I don't know why. No, actually, she started calling me Dirk. Like with a K, Dirk. And I don't know why, but it somehow evolved to Dirt, you know? And that's been my nickname since childhood. And Griggity is just a spin on my last name, my real last name. You know, just a little, like you remember when Snoop Dogg used to say for shiggity, my niggity, and all that stuff, and all that. I kind of just took my real last name and kind of put a spin to it. So that was something I did like in my 20s. In my 20s, say, yo, I'm Dirt Griggity. And I thought it was funny, and people thought it was funny. It just kind of stuck with me since then, bro. So it's crazy.
That's fun.
I call myself Dirt Griggity for over 20 years.
So there is some history behind it and layers to the shit.
Yeah,
I got you. That's what's up. So with you having like, may I ask you, what was like your first like console? Like what was the first thing that you got that you were able to play kind of whenever?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a little older. I'm 45 years old, so Atari 2600 was my first. Well, it was the first console that my parents bought for me, but it was the first console that we had as a family. And you know, it was But the first console that I got that my parents actually bought for me was a Sega Master System. I was never a big Nintendo kid, even growing up. I don't know. I was always the kid that if you love Michael Jordan, I'm gonna love Clyde Drexler. I just didn't want to follow everybody. So everybody in the hood had a Nintendo. And I was kind of like, hey, I'm gonna try the Sega Master System, and I loved it. I loved it. So I would say Atari was the first console that I used to play, but my own was Sega Master System.
Yeah, I got that. Like, I swear for like the brothers, the Sega was like the Sega thing, man. I mean that's like my family growing up. I'm 33 years old. I'm not like I'm not up there in age at all, but I'm not young enough to not remember this stuff. And like and like my household, like we didn't have Nintendo. We didn't do Nintendo. We did Sega. Like my stepfather was a proud Sega owner, and he was like one of those guys.
Shout out to him, bro.
Yeah. Like he was one of those guys that I was like, all right, I got the original Genesis and I got the second version of the Genesis, the smaller, more compact version, and then he went out and got the Sega CD, then the 32X, and like combined them together, and
that was
then
me
got
too.
the Saturn
32X Sega CD, yeah.
Oh my god, like it was just Sega, and it felt so fast. But now that I look back on it, it was fast. How many systems came in the 90s just from Sega? Console after console, and that's probably why they died.
That's definitely why. It's funny because I obviously lived it. I was 18, 19 when the Sega Saturn came out, and I was a huge Sega guy, but something about the Sega Saturn, I just and I decided to go with PlayStation 1, and it was a great decision, obviously, because the PS1 was amazing. It was something with because I had bought, like you say, your stepfather. I had bought the 32X, the Sega CD, had all combined with my Sega Genesis, and it was just a concoction of it was just too much. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, like thinking about it, hindsight, you're like, man, it was just too much.
Yeah, it was like the girl that was moving too fast. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, like slow down, baby. Just take your time. Then by the time
we still at the restaurant right now. Why are you trying to do this to me?
Exactly. It was a little bit too much. And then by the time the Sega Saturn came out, I kind of I started going to the PlayStation. Then when the Dreamcast came out, I was like, oh, this is good. But
it's too late.
By the time the PS2 came out, and it was over. So
the Dreamcast came out just before the PS2 did, but the clout was gone.
It was gone, bro. It was a great system. Yeah, the clout was gone, and then when that PS2 came out, it literally killed it.
Yeah. That was the twist of the sword right there. That was like, all right, now you are laying down permanently now. Yeah. And it was really too bad because I was kind of a fanboy at that time. I was like, man, finally Sega, elbowed Nintendo enough to get in, and then once they actually got their seat, it's like Sony came up and just pulled the chair out from him.
Pulled it out, bro.
You might as well just continue to lay down right there. Yep. You good.
And dominated. Absolutely dominated.
Oh man, I still love Sega to this day. All of the old school stuff. Me too, bro. I still kind of look sideways at the Saturn though.
That was a mistake.
It hurt.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
All right, so with all that being said, and you having a long history with gaming, why is it so important to you? Like, what makes you like think about gaming on a consistent basis?
Well, going back to what I was saying with the Atari 2600, when we first got one, I was a little kid, but I still vividly remember playing it, and I was just blown away. Even though you look at the graphics, it was box figures and sticks, but I was just in love with how I could control these things. And growing up in Detroit, man, in the 80s, it was a little rough. It was a little rough, but gaming kept me in the house. And also I grew up in a party household, meaning every Friday, Saturday, my parents would have people over partying. So my sister, my only sibling, she was 7 years older than me. So it was kind of like I grew up by myself, like as the only sibling, kind of,
No, I feel that. My brother's 13 years older. I understand.
Oh yeah, that's even crazier than mine. So when my parents used to have all these people over, gaming was what I did. I stayed in my room. I played my video games.
Yeah, that's grown folks' business. Go on, do something.
I love my video games, and so I just fell in love with it. And even growing up, I was always that dude that was the game. Even now to this day, when I talk to my coworkers, I'm the guy they ask about video games. Hey, Dirk, like when is so and so coming out? What is that? So I was always in love with it, and it helped me stay out of trouble. Like I said, growing up in Detroit in the 80s and 90s, it was a little rough, but I stayed in the house, played my video games, man. So that's what video games mean to me. It was just something that I'm passionate about, you know, still to this day. 45 years old, and when I'm 55, I'm still going to be playing video games. It was just something that means so much to me in my life and affected me in my life, you know.
You know what? And it like accidentally, like however you want to say that, it creates talking points and stuff that you can always, you know, refer back to and say, especially when people have questions or, you know, or you just want something to talk about and you're bored. You got something always in the back of your head that you're passionate
Absolutely.
and ready to talk about, and you can, and it's usually positive things when you're talking to like your coworkers or people outside of Twitter. You know, like it's usually a positive interaction where you two are finding a common level to be on. And oh yeah, you played this, well that reminds me of this game back in the day. Oh, you played, you know, Ark Survival Evolved. Oh man, that reminds me of Turok when I used to play on the 64 or something like that. You know, like there's always like a common ground when, especially face to face, compared to, like I said earlier, like a Twitter or something like that, where everyone's behind a keyboard. You have no idea what they look like, and they're just talking all kinds of mess.
Yeah, it's talking trash. Yeah, absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So gaming, yeah. So I totally understand it. It definitely brought me closer to getting to know people that I would. If there was not gaming, I probably would just walk by them, or I probably just wouldn't even say anything, just because I really don't care to interact with that many people, to be honest. But when you say gaming, or somebody mentions PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo or Sega, like my ears perk up. I'm like, oh,
absolutely.
What are they talking about?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So, with you being such into gaming since being a youngster, you know, with the Atari, Sega, and now we got the Xboxes and all that jazz. Like, what drew you to actually creating content out of all of the stuff that you learned throughout the time?
Well, it was funny you say that because in 2013, you know, Xbox, you know, I became a diehard Xbox guy with the original Xbox. I was a PS2 guy, like most of us was, and I remember Microsoft dropping the console. I remember feeling like, what? Who cares about Microsoft? Nobody cares about that. Until I actually played it.
What was the thing?
Bought it.
I was like, why are they joining? Like,
exactly.
I like I was the kids nowadays back then. I was like, I'll just get a PC. Exactly. Like what? Like, what's the point in getting the console? I could just get a PC. But yeah, go on ahead, continue.
Yeah, no, you're right. So I was a PS2 guy. I love my PlayStation 2. I was like, this is the best console ever. And then I saw the Xbox. I was like, nobody wants that. A coworker of mine, still my coworker to this day, he said, yo, Dirk, you should come on play this Halo. I said, I've heard of this Halo game. I've heard of it.
Looks mid.
It looks, I don't really care about it. So I decided to eventually go over there, and it was me, him, and two of his cousins or something. We were playing 4-player split screen, and I was like, wow, this is fun. But what initially drew me to the Xbox was some of the features. One, the hard drive. By the time I played it, I believe Xbox Live was in its infancy. It was 2002 when I first played it, because I got one in 2003. I was like, well, this is pretty cool, but the hard drive really blew me away. I could rip music to it. And so I eventually got one of my own. That was it. I became a diehard Xbox guy. And so in 2013, I was disappointed with some of the things Xbox did with the Xbox One, you know, with some of their policies and, you know, some of the things they did focus on TV. But I was still an Xbox fan. So I remember searching YouTube, seeing nothing but Xbox hate. They're like, wow. And I found a couple of positive channels, and then eventually I was listening to those channels over the years, and then I just said, I just want to start my own channel just to be a new voice in the Xbox community, right? Just a new voice. And that's what happened pretty much. My content has changed a little over the years. Before I was just a pro Xbox channel. I didn't really do console war stuff. But it was funny, I still had a lot of PlayStation fanboys in my comment section talking trash to me, even though I was not doing console war stuff. So eventually I just said to hell with it, I'm gonna talk trash back to you guys. So that's what happened over the years. But I love doing it. Like you said, I love talking about gaming. So if I hear a conversation about gaming, like you said, your ears perk up. The same thing with me. So if I could make a platform where I can talk about gaming and people actually come to listen to me, which I'm still in awe of, people actually come to listen to me talk about gaming. That's the reason I'm doing it, man. And that's the story of my channel, pretty much.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've watched I've watched several episodes of your WBG podcast. I said that right, correct?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Podcast. Yeah, so I've watched several episodes of that, and you guys are fucking funny. Like,
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, like some of those like intro clips and like beginning clips to some of them episodes. Like, there's one I seen not that long ago, but there was like this horse walking. And like I just was cracking up, and you guys kept hitting the button for that damn horse to keep walking by, and I was like, man, y'all need to stop.
Bro, this is funny. Listen, this is how I looked at it. I said, there are some amazing podcasts out here. Iron Lords, Rand, the Xbox 2 dealer. There's some amazing podcasts out here. Boomstick, Coeso, all those guys. I said, you know what? I can't be as good as them. In my eyes, I'm saying I don't speak as well as them. Maybe I'm not as informative. I don't have any inside connections. I said, let's try to do something a little different. Let's talk a little trash. Let's give our opinions about certain things. Let's talk about gaming news, but at the same time, let's have fun. I know we swear like crazy on there. We cuss like crazy, like especially my boy Sean. We be cussing our asses off. But I say, let's just have fun with it. Let's be a little different. Let's have these little clips. So I tried to think of it as a radio show, kind of. I grew up, but in my 20s, I discovered Howard Stern. I don't know if you know who Howard Stern is. No, you might not.
Yeah, I know Howard Stern. He used to have a crazy show. He used to have a really inappropriate show.
Yeah, really inappropriate. Now, we don't do the sexual stuff, of course, but I just wanted to be different from other podcasts, because there's a lot of podcasts. They're great podcasts, but some of them are very similar. So I just want to be a little different, and it seems to be doing okay for us. So
I think you guys have your own little niche, which is really nice.
It's not for everybody though.
No, that's facts. But some people I feel like don't really see between the lines. They think that when they hop on to watch your channel that you guys are just bashing PlayStation, when that's not the truth. The truth is you're bashing the fanboys.
Well, I love PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm glad you noticed that.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been following you guys for a little while, so I mean, I've watched some of your standalone work, and I've also seen some of your WBG stuff as well, and you guys are never saying PlayStation sucks. That wasn't like the premise. Now in the chat is a different animal. The chat is always gonna be extra crazy, especially when they don't have a real name behind their name or something like that. Exactly. They're gonna be extra every single time. But I've never heard you guys stand on a hill and scream, "Don't buy a PlayStation. No. PlayStation's garbage." Because that's just not true. Everybody that's a true gamer knows that's not true. But at the same time, the people that you are making fun of are those that are saying Xbox is trash, Xbox is this, Xbox is that, because it's just unnecessary. So if they're gonna make the unnecessary statements, y'all might as well come in there and say y'all piece, because that's nonstop. They'll just keep going until somebody says something or someone holds them accountable.
I'm glad you said that because we stress that all the time. Now, there's one guy on our podcast. He tries to handle PlayStation. Hey, look, man, it's not.
There's always that guy.
Yeah, it's always that guy. I'm personally not a fan of PlayStation fanboys. Like you said, if you look at my content, I say all the time, I love PlayStation. I love them. I love their franchises. I love their studios. I love PlayStation. And I mean, they're not flawless. If we say anything taking a shot at PlayStation, it's just to somehow get back to PlayStation fanboys because some of them think PlayStation is flawless. And they're great, but they're not flawless. No company is flawless. No person is flawless. Excuse me. So that's pretty much what I was saying. Let me get some water. That we make fun of PlayStation fanboys. That's all it is. And some people think we make fun of PlayStation because they don't watch our channel, which I understand why a PlayStation guy wouldn't want to watch my channel or my podcast. I understand that. But I'm glad that you noticed that. It's really about the PlayStation fanboys. It's from all these years of, I would say, I don't like to say bullying, because some people say, oh, they bullied us last generation, but they really talked a lot of trash to us last generation. And I have some personal stories where I was ambushed going on PlayStation podcasts, ambushed going on a podcast. I was a regular member and the host would invite 7 different PlayStation guys and they all would bash me. So it was some personal things, to these PlayStation fanboys. So, but I'm glad you noticed that though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when there's content, there's always, the fence there of what you what you kind of see, and then if you look over the fence, you can kind of see what's really kind of going on behind the scenes if you take enough time to do that. A lot of people just click something, hear a couple words or hear a sentence that they don't like, and then they give a blanket statement for the whole entire show or the whole entire, channel or whatnot. So I like to look closely and kind of see what's really going on. Sometimes, I get fooled. I'm not perfect either. So just I do my best with that. But we're going to move on to the next little piece that I like to do each show, which I am going to name a console, and you're going to tell me the first game that comes to mind, no matter if it's first party or third party or whatever. Okay? Especially with like PlayStation 2. Those things were third party machines. Right. So I can't take anything away from you if you name something that was made by Square or something else, okay? Right. So the first one that I'm going to go with is going to be interesting. It's going to be the 32X. What's the first game you think of?
Actually, Mortal Kombat 2, because that version was better, way better than the Sega Genesis version. Even slightly better than the Super Nintendo version, because I was a huge Mortal Kombat guy back then, and that's the first game I think of with 32X, Mortal Kombat 2.
Okay, all right, moving on. Let's go to the original PlayStation.
Oh, there's so many on there. The first game that pops in my mind is Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid, solid.
Game blew me
solid
away.
Pick.
Bro.
Yeah, solid pick.
Blew me away.
All right, and let's go backwards now to the Sega Genesis.
Sonic 2.
Sonic 2?
Sonic, that game specifically, Sonic 2, man, that game was incredible. I had to finish that game about 10 times, bro. It was a great game.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic was, back then, that game was so replayable. Over and over and over. That, Mortal Kombat. I used to play a game called Road Rash.
Yeah,
a lot back in the day. John Madden Football with the guy on the cover doing that. Yeah.
All that was great times, man. Those were my teenage years, great times.
Yeah, replayable all day long. And I can't forget about Bill Walsh football.
Bill Walsh was good. Streets of Rage was another.
Oh, that was a banger. Oh my goodness. The little button thing that goes boom, 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 and telling you to keep going.
Tell you to go, yeah. I love it.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go a little even further back and go to the NES.
Honestly, Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Ooh, I've yet to hear anybody say that.
Yeah. I never owned the NES because, like I said, I was a Sega guy. But everybody else I knew had an NES. My cousins, my friends, and that was my favorite NES game. That and Super Mario Brothers 2. But Mike Tyson Punch Out, the first one that pops in my head.
Man, I used to get wiped in that game, man.
Fire,
that game was
bro.
hard.
Yeah,
that game was hard. Like after you got past like the first few like extra lame guys.
Yeah,
like there is one guy I think that he had like a turban on or something like that.
Yeah, Great Tiger.
Oh man, he used to whoop my ass.
Yeah.
That dude used to whoop my ass.
That's why it would disappear.
Yeah. Yep, and then just come out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yep.
Great times though. Great times back then, bro.
So let's see if you know this one. I'm sure you know this one, but I'm wondering if you ever had it and played any games. Even if you haven't owned it and you played some of the games, maybe throw it out there. But how about the Panasonic 3DO?
You know, I played it because a guy down the street from me had it. The only game I played on it was Madden. That's it, because we was playing Madden.
That's fair.
And like the referees was a real person, like Full Motion Video was called it a real person. The referee was a real person, and that was so cool to me. Oh man, look, he's a real guy, you know. So that's really the only game I played, and he had Road Rash also. But so I would say Madden kind of popped in my head.
Yeah, I know that the Panasonic Real 3DO.
Yeah.
They used to try to like implement real like stuff in the video games. There was more than just Madden that did that, which was really cool for the time, but they were like the Sega Saturn, just way too far ahead with no real plan in sight.
Absolutely.
So that's too bad. But also what cornered them a little bit was how expensive they were when they first came out.
That's what ruined it. It was too, bro. This was what 1993. It was like $500 or something. It was crazy. Back then, prices like that. No, man. What's wrong with them?
Yeah, it was insane. So they priced themselves out of the market and took an L to Sega and Nintendo for sure, and then soon PlayStation. But the next console I got to name, of course, Xbox, the original.
I mean, I think this one's pretty obvious, you know. Definitely Halo, because that was the game that I don't think if Halo wouldn't have been successful, Xbox wouldn't be around.
Fair. How about you name a game that's not as obvious that maybe somebody wouldn't expect?
Okay. See, original Xbox. And you said it doesn't have to be first party, right?
Right.
There was a game. I actually still have it on my current Xbox. Hold on. What's the name? What's the name of it? Wait. It was a cop. Hold on. Damn, why can't I think of the name of the game? It was a cop with a dog. Oh man, it was a third-party game. Bro, I cannot think of the name of the damn game right now. Dead to Rights.
Dead to Rights. Oh wow.
I love Dead to Rights, and I still have it because it's backwards compatible. I love that game. With the dog, the story was great. You know, the cop, he got set up and he went to prison. It was a great game. I believe I forgot the company that made it, but it was definitely a third-party game because I believe it was on the PlayStation also. But I love that game. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a good one for sure. And yeah, that was a third-party game for sure. I believe it was all over the place. Really popular for its time. Let's go on forward to the PlayStation, or actually same generation, PlayStation 2.
Oh man, PlayStation 2 has so many gems. Metal Gear Solid 2 was huge for me. Absolutely huge. And you know what? For a second, can I go back to the Xbox for a second? A quick second. Splinter Cell was the game that also blew me away. The original, because remember, it was a timed exclusive. The original Splinter Cell was a timed exclusive for the Xbox. That game, amazing. But PS2, man, you know, I used to love those WWE SmackDown games.
Oh man, you do like Here 5 specials in a row.
Oh my God. Here Comes the Pain was amazing, bro. Oh man. There was so many places. PlayStation 2 was that console probably in my top 3 of all time. Great console, man. But I would say those WWE SmackDown games. I put a lot of time into those games. I wish we could like
it looks so real back
then. Time back. Oh my man, it was great. And at the time I was huge into wrestling. So to play that game, it was amazing. Good stuff.
Yeah, because I remember beforehand, it seemed like the N64 kind of cornered the market with the wrestling games for a while.
Yeah.
But the problem with the N64 with the wrestling games is that they were all like just copy and paste with different moves for each character, but all of the button styles
was the same. So.
Was the exact same. The reactions from each character were like the exact same. The reversal time, everything was like the same. And you knew that you only had a short window to do like a special move in the 64 version. So when I had turned on SmackDown for PlayStation, and I was able to save up 5 specials, and then just clock the hell out of that guy.
And then you could have the actual real music, because on the N64 they would have the music, but it would be the cartridge version.
Yeah, it would be all bitted out and sounded all terrible.
Those were some good times, man. I love the PS2. It's a great console.
Nintendo's very famous for having low quality music.
Absolutely.
In their game, like good, like it sounds good. It fits what the game is. But like, if you took that out and put it like in an Xbox or a PlayStation game, you'd be like, "This is ass."
Right? This is trash. What is this, man? Back.
All right, so let's go forward a couple generations to the PlayStation 4. Let's see if you had anything there.
Yeah, God of War, 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Xbox One?
I would say Xbox One. I would say Gears 5, because there was some decent games earlier in the generation, but the second half of the generation was kind of not as good. But Gears 5 really stood out to me. I actually played it the other day for some gameplay footage, and wow, this game looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It looks absolutely so. Gears 5 really stood out to me.
Yeah, I especially think the DLC for that game
was
phenomenal.
Amazing.
Especially when you get like towards the end of it, when you're in the jungle area.
It looks amazing, bro.
I was like, man, like I was just in there taking pictures.
Yeah, bro, it looks amazing.
That's what's up. All right, so then let me do 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
The next one I'm gonna do is way back. I'm gonna go back to the Sega CD.
Oh, I used to love the Sega CD, but I'm going to say Night Trap.
I don't even know that game. I don't even know that game.
There it is, bro. That game was very controversial. It was a foremost in video game with real actors and actresses. They actually dropped on a PS4 a few years ago. Somebody remade it, but it didn't do well. It was a game. It was like a movie game, one of those foremost video games with real actors and actresses. You was in the house. These people come, and these vampires or whatever try to kill people, and you had to set traps to kill the vampires. It wasn't that great of a game, but that's the game I think about when I think about Sega CD, because it was real controversial. The government trying to ban it because it was
it was like a GTA of its time.
Look it up on YouTube. Night Trap. You can see it was real controversial game. They was trying to ban it because they were saying, because like the vampires would like use this thing and they were wrapping around girls' necks, and people like they're raping girls and things like that. But that's the first game I think about when I think about Sega CD though.
That's insane.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I brought this up, so before I do the last one, I'm gonna ask you Sega Dreamcast.
Oh man, so many. Oh man, so many great games. I would say probably Sonic Adventure, because that was the first game I got, and that game was fire.
Oh yeah,
the first one was fire.
I remember it came in the little orange disc pocket thing that you could sample all different kinds of games. You got that, House of the Dead 2.
Yeah. And I also could say Shenmue.
Let's go.
I have a story.
The
about
double disc.
Yeah, I have a story about that game. Real quick. I told, I did videos about that Shenmue game. It's a whole story about it. I'll do it real quick. I bought the game. this is when I was married to my ex-wife. We was married. I was young. I got married young the first time. I got it right the second time, but the first time I got married young. Bought Shenmue when we didn't really have any money. I had like we had $60 as a family, right?
Oh boy.
It was $50, right? So it was 52 and some change with tax.
I bought the McDonald's game, on the way out.
Yeah, so I bought the game, took it home, told the wife. She damn near wanted to choke me. We had to go to marriage counseling. We went to talk like over this game, bro, because that's how much of a game I was. I obviously could have waited a week or two until I got paid again, but I just had to get Shenmue the first day. Got the game, and all hell broke loose in our marriage, bro. It was crazy. So I say Shenmue caused me to get a divorce. That wasn't the only reason, but it was the downfall.
It was the kickoff.
It was the kickoff, bro. So that's a true story, man. True story. I actually had my ex-wife to come on WBG about a month ago and tell her side of the story. It was funny stuff, man. She came on. I actually convinced her to come on. She's like, yeah, he did this. He's crazy. This MF, he's crazy. She was still bashing me about it. But
your ex-wife?
My ex-wife, yeah, I actually had her on the show.
Oh, my God. You are out of pocket for
Yeah, I brought my ex-wife on the show. I of course told my current wife about it, you know.
Oh, of course. You don't want to sneak that in.
And it was a good show, man. She was talking. She was, yeah, bro. That was.
Oh, I bet she went in on you about a few things.
Yeah, she's still going off on me 20-some years later.
That's cool, though. I mean, obviously, you guys aren't so mad at each other that you can't talk. It's pretty cool that you're able to invite somebody onto the show just to give a little. Give some his. Oh, of course. Like back then, it was like, oh, we need to take some years and not even say any words to each other. Yeah. But to come back and be able to, I mean, that shows strength on both sides. So really good. That's dope. Congratulations on doing something like that, because I don't know a whole lot of people that could do that.
Yeah. It was funny, man. It's crazy.
All right, and then the very last one to end off the topic. I gotta do Series S and X. I gotta know. What's the first game you thinking?
As of right now, you asked me now, I would say Halo Infinite right now. I'm enjoying the game. I finished it on Heroic. I can't do the Legendary yet. I'm like, maybe when the co-op comes, I can do the Legendary. But I'm enjoying the game, especially to see the issues that the game had, the tough development, and for the game to actually come out and to be pretty good. I think that's a good thing for me to see them actually, be able to make sure the franchise keeps going strong. So.
Yeah, that game for sure. I feel you there. What's so fascinating to me is how many layers that game has. Mm-hmm. It's not even finished yet. It's not even a finished product yet. Right. But there's already the multiplayer and campaign aspect. Usually you only get one of those in a game nowadays. You either like Battlefield, for instance, multiplayer only. Most PlayStation games, campaign only.
Yep.
That's it. Yet there's so much hate, and it's insane to me because I'm just like, don't play it. If you don't like it, don't play it. But anyways, but like it's just really cool to see the development because they talked about how much money that they put into the game, and I'm just waiting to see more of that slowly spill out. I want to see that campaign co-op because I know that's going to be that's got to be like the craziest campaign co-op of all time if it's open world.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then on top of that, there's Forge, which my lady doesn't really know a whole lot about that kind of stuff, but she's already like throwing out ideas. Oh man, it'd be so cool to be able to do this, and that. And I'm just like, you're gonna be able to do that here soon. And she's like, I can make my own games. I was like, not now. Right. But they're working on adding that so it's kind of like Action Sack, but you can make whatever games that you kind of want. Right. And she's like, she's blown away by that. She already loves the game, so once that comes out, I'm gonna have to tell her to leave me alone because she'd be bothering me, ready to play all the time. Like I woke up just a couple hours before this interview because, like I said, I was up crazy late, just editing and doing all kinds of stuff. But I woke up and first thing that comes out of her mouth, it's my break. You want to go play a quick game? I'm like, man, wow. I need to go. I still got to use the restroom. Like, I ain't even done a full roll to get out of bed yet, and you already asking me to go play video.
That's funny.
So, I mean, like I said, it is really cool to have a significant other that likes to play games, but it's like I'm arguing with myself a little bit sometimes. I'm just like, I want to play, but not now, damn it. Go away.
Right. Yeah, that's funny.
All right, so let's move on to the next topic. What is one kind of game that you're just like, nah, bruh, fuck this, not playing it. I don't care what kind of, like I don't care who made it. I don't want to play this type of game.
I was kind of always like that with RTSs. I couldn't get into them. I tried. Some of them I could get into them, you know.
No, I get it because for me particularly, it's like once I'm in it, but once I'm out, good luck getting me back into it.
Right.
Because they're time crunching games. They will kill your time, and I don't know, watching other people build your stuff.
Yeah.
For me, it's just not exactly it. Like Age of Empire was a nice, smooth, pretty game, but like I played that game like I probably had like 20 hours in that game, but I only played it like 3 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, because I just like I said, I get into once I play it, I'm in it. But once I stop playing it, it's like the rear view mirror. I just
yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
But is there any RTS game that you've ever played that you're like, oh, this actually isn't too bad?
Halo Wars 2 wasn't bad, but just like you said, I stopped playing it for whatever reason, and I just couldn't force myself to get back into it, so I just let it go. But that's the one that I put the most time in. It's probably about 5 or 6 hours, you know?
Yeah, and like the cutscenes and everything in that.
Cutscenes are fine. Yeah.
The cutscenes are dope. It's like Gears Tactics to me. Like, I just can't.
I never played it because I know what type of game it is. And I love the Gears franchise, but I couldn't.
Well, playing Gears is fun, but watching, but you hitting and telling them what to do and then watching them make the kill is just so unsatisfying to me. I want to use that chainsaw. I don't want you to do it.
Yeah, right.
All right, now that we know that, let's move on to what are your best 3 games that came out this year. And then of those 3 games, pick one that you just think is like the step above.
Okay. I remember earlier this year, me and my WBZ panel member, Sean, we played It Takes Two. I bought it because I wanted to play it. And I said, you want to play with me? And bro, we beat that game in 3 days. And that game was absolutely amazing. And when it won Game of the Year, I said it was well deserved.
Yeah.
I had no problem with it winning Game of the Year. Psychonauts 2 is another phenomenal game. Love that game from
the art style in both of those games are just drop dead gorgeous.
The most original levels, the game design is incredible on both of those games. And the last one would be Halo Infinite. We just talked about that game. But if I had to choose one this year, I would say Psychonauts 2. That, just knowing that Double Fine is the Xbox first party just excites me, because this game started off as a Kickstarter, obviously, and Xbox helped them finish the game how they wanted to finish it. Because I saw an interview with Tim Schafer, and he said that they had all of the bosses removed from the game until Xbox purchased them. They were able to add them back. And that just goes to show you that this studio is talented as hell. And I can't wait to see what their next game is going to be. Because Psychonauts, like you said, the art style, the story, the gameplay, the level design, it's incredible, man. But it was close between that and It Takes Two, because It Takes Two was just that good to me also. So, yeah, but I would say Psychonauts 2 is my game in the year.
Yeah, they both have that like crazy, fun, whimsical aspect where it doesn't it doesn't have to feel like real life. This game is just like crazy in its own respect. And like I appreciate it for that, because it's not so copy and paste from other games. Like I'm using a crazy like gel honey gun and lighting it on fire and freaking It Takes Two, and then I turn around and play Psychonauts, and I'm walking into a hallway that ends up turning around, and I don't know what room I'm freaking going to.
Exactly.
Like those games, the style of those games were just really good. Like, I want to say impeccable. Like, they're just really, really good games.
I agree.
But here's a question I did not put on the list, but I'm kind of curious. What are, like, a few, if you can, name the 3 worst games this year, and which one is the worst?
Oh, I gotta think about that.
I know it's hard because once you play an ass game, you're deleting it as fast as possible.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was something because I recently talked about it. Oh man, what was it?
Well, just in the meantime, I'm gonna tell you mine.
Okay.
Godfall. I just got done playing that game.
I never played it.
That was god awful.
Yeah.
And well, just because it was too similar to God of War. It was like a knockoff of God of War in a Asian location. Like, it was just
a mess, huh?
it was just kind of weird. And then another 2 games would be I was really disappointed with The Ascent. And it's only because how bad it came out with multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, the game itself was pretty dope. It was pretty fire. But when I was losing items that I collected throughout my travels, that's when it got a thumbs down for me. And I was just like, all right, I'm deleting this game. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
And then the third game, that'd be hard to pick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, I can't say I played a bad game this year, but I would say there's some game. Well, Serious Sam, because I'm looking at my achievements right now because I'm trying to remember some games. Serious Sam 4 was, I only played it for a second. I thought this game was terrible.
It's like a rough Doom.
Yeah, but nowhere near as polished, you know?
Not, like, it just feels really loose. Your character just feels like, I don't know, he just feels kind of like a bot a little bit. Yeah. Like you're running around, don't really have a whole lot of moves. You say a bunch of corny lines.
Yeah,
shoot some shitty
like
guns.
Duke Nukem. Now I'm gonna tell you a game I really didn't care for. 12 minutes. I didn't care for it, bro.
Oh, really?
I didn't care for it. I tried to get into it. It was just the constant back and forth and then trying to find something you didn't do last time. I didn't have the patience for it, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand your side. I liked that game. I thought it was cool. I thought the stories were fucked up enough to keep me interested. but I could see why somebody wouldn't like that, because it's like you're doing the same thing over and over and over just to find a little clue.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all I can really think of, man.
I think I'm gonna put Battlefield on the list as well.
Yeah, I didn't care for Battlefield either.
It was so disappointing the way it came out.
Yeah,
maybe even Back 4 Blood as well. I don't know.
You know what? I was looking at, because I was going through my achievement list, and now Back 4 Blood is a game I didn't care for, bro. It's like, I don't know if it's because the formula is the same as all the other types of games. It was just I just didn't care for it.
I don't like card systems.
It's the worst game. You know, I would say it's the worst game. It was just a game I just didn't care for, you know?
I don't like card system games where it's like a boost.
I didn't like that at all.
Like these little boosts for this level, and like, I'm not in that. I want to know what I can do at all times, and then just leave me alone.
Facts.
Yeah. I don't need to be able to do something special one match that I can't do the next match, because what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to do that one special thing. I'm going to absolutely love it, and then I'm not going to get it the next match, and I'm going to fucking hate it.
Right. That's a fact, bro. I noticed, I was like, I didn't play this game much, and then I looked the other day actually, because it's funny you said Back 4 Blood. I only played that game for 2 hours, and I have no interest in going back to play. I just have no interest, bro. It's not that it's a bad game. It's just I just don't care about it, you know.
Yeah.
Thank God for Game Pass, because that's the game I would have bought because I love those type of games. So thank God for Game Pass, I didn't have to buy it.
Yeah, I almost feel like you got to get an 85-inch TV and play split screen on that game to have a good time, because you almost need to be like in the same room, because that's the way we used to play Left 4 Dead, right? We used to play Left 4 Dead local, so, and it was fun because you were right next to the other person watching them get attacked while you're trying to run and save them and whatnot. But in this one, it's kind of like some games are not as good online multiplayer than they are local, and other way around as well. So I felt like that game was just one of those where I was just like, I remember having such a good time playing on the couch, but now that I'm playing with homies online or whatnot, I'd rather just go play Halo right now. This is not fun.
Right.
All right, so those are your somewhat of not enthusiastic games of this last year. All right, so let's move on to something a little bit more positive. Favorite studio and what game best represents it?
You know, this is
a tough one.
This is something I got to be honest about. I love Naughty Dog, bro. I absolutely love Naughty Dog. And
like Jack and Daxter Naughty Dog, or now Naughty Dog?
Uncharted, Last of Us, now Naughty Dog.
Okay.
The Last of Us 1 was a game that just wow. I was a diehard 360 guy, but I had a PS3 and I said, wow, goodness. I said, this game is incredible. Part 2 was a technical masterpiece. He didn't care about some of the things in the story, but Naughty Dog is one of my favorite studios, if not my favorite studio. For now. But I'm just happy Xbox got a lot of new studios, and maybe one of those would be my favorite. So, but as of now, it's Naughty Dog.
It's a toss-up between The Last of Us 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2 for the prettiest game of all time for me. I'm not sure which one it is. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful games, like Senua's Saga was beautiful, especially since they redid that and whatnot. Right. Gears is beautiful. You know, the Ratchet and Clank for PS4 and the new Ratchet and Clank right now is beautiful. But like, you look at The Last of Us 2 and just you riding the horse in the game, or you know, you're buddied up with your partner and you gotta run through and you jump into the waterfall or something like that, or go swim. Like, just the just the graphical aspect of that game is top tier. Not all of the mechanics, to me personally, are top tier. And some of the story, like, I don't know, that's just up to the, you know, person that plays the game. But like, in all actuality, when I stand back and I look at that game, I'm like, that's up there, like one of the best games of all time. Like, you just have to give it the credit that it's due, no matter what platform you prefer. That game is one of the best looking games and best stories of all time, whether you enjoyed the story or not. Not every story that's the best of all time is supposed to be enjoyable. Some of them are supposed to hurt. Some of them suck. Like, like not suck as in suck, but like suck to watch happen. Yeah, exactly. Like for me and watching Joel, like, it sucked to watch that unfold. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I know what's gonna happen. Oh, that was way worse than what I expected.
Yeah, exactly. And let me say this real quick. No, well, I'm trying not to spoil, but the point that it didn't bother me with what happened to him. I just would have preferred it to you not to have to be the person that did it to him. If they would have did it, they would have did that scene or showed that scene at the end of the game. I would have liked that more. Like, instead of early in the game, you see what happened, then you got to play with that person for a majority of the game, really. And then so many things like, well, I'm trying not to spoil too much, but then the other character is a boss. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't like that part, but the game itself is a technical masterpiece, a beautiful game. And Naughty Dog and like you said, Rockstar, they're up there right now. They're, as far as the quality of their games, they're up there right now. And hopefully Ninja Theory can be that for Xbox,
Oh, I totally think that they can.
Yeah.
I mean, just with that little preview that they showed, I was like, all right. They got their chips right now. They got their chips.
Yeah, they got funding now. So.
Yeah. Just like Psychonauts and them. Like, I mean, You just said just a moment ago, they almost didn't have bosses in the game.
Yeah.
Now they got that funding. I'm excited to see what they're gonna come out with next, because I think they're working on multiple games right now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and you know what? Something else, bro. They have funding, and they also gonna have time, because time is very important for development teams also. And because Xbox has so many studios and so much content being developed at the same time, when they're not going to drop 10 games a year. They're not going to do that. First party 10 games a year. No. So they're going to drop by maybe 4 or 5. And those other studios, if their game was going to be ready this year, take another 6 to 7 months to polish the game. So I think quality and the time that these teams are going to have is going to be great.
I think if Halo did anything, it showed the support that Xbox is willing to give to a game that doesn't seem to be quite ready yet. Yep. So if they're willing to take their franchise game, the stuff that they advertised everywhere, had it all over, bags and, buy this and you'll get, Halo or a discount or something like that. Like, they had Halo everywhere last year around just like a month or like 13 months ago.
Yeah,
something like that. They had Halo.
Taco Bell commercials.
Taco Bell was supporting them, and it was insane. Like, I was super stoked, and then that trailer came out and everybody freaked out, and then they delayed it. I was like, you know how much cojones you gotta have to see the community look back at your game, know that it is the game for your console. That's the game that lifted the Xbox in the first place, the very first Xbox. You look at it and you're just like, nah, bro, you gotta go back in the oven. Yeah,
exactly.
Like, that takes balls to do something like that. So once I seen that, I was like, man, that by itself, it doesn't look pretty, but on the development side, they had to look at that and be like, man, that's fucking sexy. Yeah, they just pulled that game off and said, hey, this ain't good enough. Give it some more work and take all the time that you need. Mm-hmm. And they're still kind of doing that now with Forge and co-op and whatnot. And I'm okay with it, because I'd rather have you give me a game that's good, game that's functionally sound, than shove something in my face just to make a quick buck off of me. Because that is a trend kind of happening right now, where people are just sending out broken games and being like, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't know. And it's like, bullshit, man. How do you not know? There's no way you didn't know. You have you run the credits to these video games and they got hundreds of QA testers, and you're gonna tell me you didn't know? Exactly. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Thanks.
All right, so what is the most excited game for you for 2022?
It's funny you say that. I could be, the obvious Xbox fanboy, say Starfield, which Starfield is very high on my list. But
needs more
the gamer in me, not the Xbox fanboy in me, the gamer in me, bro, I'm hyped for God of War Ragnarok, because I don't even have a PS5 yet. I'm going to definitely get one before that comes out. I'm so hyped for that game, because to me, right next to The Witcher 3, God of War 2018 was my game of last generation. I still might have The Witcher a little bit above it, but that game was incredible, and I can't wait for Ragnarok.
Yeah, I know Randall Thor said the exact same thing on this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I had him, he is like, by far for 2022, I know there's all these great games coming out, but Ragnarok is what it is. And he's like, I know I talk a lot about Xbox, but he's like, that game just has my heart. And I was like, fair enough, you know?
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, that is a really exciting game. I wasn't super stoked when I seen it get launched out because I feel like I hopped in a little bit too fanboyish when I first looked at that game, and I was thinking, oh man, this looks exactly like what I just got done beating 2018 right. Because I mean they updated 2018 on the PS5. And it looks phenomenal. It looks really freaking good. So when I seen the trailer, I was just like, you know what PS5 fanboys be saying? Oh man, that looks like DLC. I was saying the same shit right back to him. I was saying the same shit right back to him. I was like, oh, you think Halo DLC? How about God of War? Yeah, how about God of War 20? There's been a ton of God of Wars. There's like 17 different Ratchet and Clanks. I don't want to hear y'all talk about DLC.
Yeah, they don't have that no more. Yeah, exactly. They got a lot. Yeah, but I mean that's just I'm just being honest because like yes, like people call me Xbox fanboy, and I can obviously see why they call me that, but in reality, I prefer Xbox, no doubt about it. That's my console of choice. But there's some games on the PlayStation side that I do adore.
You can't deny it.
God of War is one of them.
Yeah, you can't deny it. Like now that I like when I said that about God of War, I hadn't fully completed the game. Like I was like a third of the way into it or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And now I beat the game like I want to say like 2-3 weeks ago. It was kind of a slow burn game for me. There was parts where I was just getting tired of Atreus. I was just getting tired of that little kid. Like he is running his damn mouth. And then finally when he got stabbed in the arm, I was like, I like this game.
Right.
It just shut this kid up. Like I like this game a lot now. that kid got stabbed and he got punched in the gut. I was like, all right, like thank you. Like you did what I wanted to do this entire game.
That's funny.
But yeah, that game's dope, and I know they're not gonna slip on Ragnarok. They can't. They can't. But now let's go into the past a little bit. There are all these different consoles that you played.
Right.
I'm sure you have a lot of games that you wish that would come back around. What 2 games are on the top of your mind when it comes to, man, this needs a revival? I want to see this game come back.
Okay. I like Ubisoft. A lot of people say they don't like Ubisoft, but I
love
like
Ubisoft.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Prince of Persia and Splinter Cell. Those are my 2 games. I wish they would bring those back.
What was the second one?
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. Okay. Well, they are bringing Splinter Cell back.
It's a
remake.
Yeah, but I mean like a continuation, but it is what it is. But I would definitely say Prince of Persia. I love during the PS2 days. I love that trilogy they had. Phenomenal.
You could rewind time and stuff like that.
Oh man, loved it. Now doing the 360, that one Prince of Persia game they had, it was in. But the PS2 ones and the original Xbox was so amazing. Like you said, the Sands of Time was the 2 Thrones, and I forgot the other one. Whatever, but I loved all 3 of them. So those games are fire. So that's definitely one franchise I want them to bring back. And of course, Splinter Cell. I love that franchise also.
So I feel like with Splinter Cell, I'm gonna have to take what Colt Eastwood said yesterday on his XNC podcast. He said, or it was either him or I think his name's like Shrapnel Nick or something like that. It's Special Nick. It's just spelled all fucked
it's up.
It's
weird,
okay. So one of those 2 guys said that they're coming out with this Splinter Cell more as like a last second decision, and they're more or less feeling out the crowd to see is this game because they weren't sure whether to make a new one or not, and they're just like, oh, I guess let's just come out with a remake, see if there's still an audience for it before we actually put money forth to make a brand new one. Because I'd imagine making a new version of that game is going to cost a crazy amount of money.
Yeah. And like, plus they got to figure out a way to monetize it too.
Oh, you know, Ubisoft, they already they figured that out before they made the game.
Right.
We trying to make every dollar back in the first like week or something like that. They're crazy. But they didn't really do too much monetization that I noticed in Far Cry, or at least they didn't throw it in your face.
Yeah, no, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't. I mean, we have some DLC, but it's not like crazy. Yeah, I agree with that. It's not crazy.
I loved Far Cry 6. I thought it was.
Oh yeah,
a great
I
game.
love Ubisoft. Yeah, I finished Far Cry 6. I loved it also. So I like Ubisoft, man. For whatever reason, I like their games.
Oh yeah, right now my sleepy time game is Riders Republic. I'll hop in there and just ride around.
Is that fun?
Oh yeah, it's fun. Back in the day, you probably played a game called X Games.
Yeah, of course.
Where you ride a bike, you got a skate, or you got a skateboard, or you got skates on. You don't have any other choice, but it reminds me of those games like Race Style and whatnot.
Okay.
But new, updated, and super large. So it's like an X game plus. What was that game? That snowboarding game?
SSX?
No, the newer one.
Steep.
Steep. Yeah, Steep. Yeah. It's like the X Games and Steep put together.
Okay.
Pretty much. So if you like screwing around and being able to, because I did one mass race. There was like, I'm not even lying. There's like 50 or 100 different other players, and yeah, I got like 40th place. Like it was, oh man, I didn't know what I was stepping into, and those are some savages on that. Oh man, yeah. It's like hopping into a high-ranking Halo match. You're just getting wiped up. Right. So that's what happened to me, and I got 40th. So, but it's still a really fun game. There's all different kinds of things you can do in it. Check it out.
Okay, I'll do that.
But here's kind of a question that's going to go back to the negative side a little bit. What about gaming frustrates you? What kind of pisses you off when you see it?
As far as the gaming itself or the community, like what is this?
Anything. Like you pick the thing that like just like that you can just like not ignore. It just frustrates you.
That goes back to my feelings about certain types of fanboys. There's certain things that I would never fanboy on. If a game looks good, a game looks good. If it's a good game, it's a good game. I don't care who it's from. I don't care if it's from Sony, Nintendo, or Xbox. It just seems like sometimes fanboys, both sides. There's some Xbox fanboys, some PlayStation fanboys. They go out of their way to try to bash a game, and I would never do that. If I don't like a game, I would say I don't like it. But sometimes these guys go out of their way to bash a game after these developers really, put their heart in this game. And some of these guys go out of their way to bash a game, to try to find, like, zoom in a picture 1,000%, say, look at this, it looks trash. And that's the stuff, I know it's console war stuff, but that's the stuff I don't really care for. Now, if a game looks bad, it looks bad, but don't try to make a game look bad that doesn't look bad just to fit your narrative, or, to say things like Xbox Game Pass is bad for consumers. I mean, that's these guys' opinion, but at the same time, it's all fanboy stuff. If Xbox Game Pass doesn't benefit you, fine, but it benefits millions of people, right? There's millions of people, mothers, parents that buy their kids a console that can save a lot of money, and their kids are happy with Xbox Game Pass. So that's the kind of stuff I hate. Like I said, on both sides, to fit your agenda, to fit your narrative, you're bashing stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be bashed. Like, I don't like that. That's the stuff I don't like. And, that's just how I feel about it. Because these are things that, like I said, bro, Xbox Game Pass benefits me. And a game like Left 4 Dead, well, I'm sorry, not Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood, there's some games I didn't have to buy this year because of Xbox Game Pass. And I might have been mad that I bought it $60 or whatever.
Right.
And so, that's kind of where I'm at with that. If we're gamers, let's be gamers. I understand we do console war stuff, but at the end of the day, a good game is a good game. A good service is a good service. That's how I feel about it, man. Just stop. If PS Now became like an Xbox Game Pass type service, with their games going in there day and day, I would subscribe immediately.
Right.
Immediately. Right. So I would never say, y'all welfare, y'all poor. You know, that's stupid to me, man. That's stupid. So yeah,
it's unnecessary disrespect too. Like, it's just, you have to belittle something or somebody to feel like you are up here or better.
Exactly.
And it's just like, you can read it. You can read right between the lines and see it. And it's just like, man, like, everybody sees what you're doing, but you.
Exactly.
So it's just like really weird, but whatever. So that's what frustrates you around the gaming space.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well then let's turn it back to the positive direction, and let me ask you, what would be a dream come true for you in gaming in any form?
Man, I would say Xbox and WB. For some reason, that would just be amazing to me. If Xbox acquired WB, or even a couple studios from WB, I don't know. I don't. Of course, this is just a dream, but I really feel that they have a lot of talent over there with, you know, Rocksteady.
They're acquiring people from over there. I know that.
Yeah, definitely, man. And, you know, with NetherRealm, that would be amazing to me if those guys would somehow, if Xbox bought them. But, you know, this is just wishful thinking. This is just a dream. You said a dream, so that's a dream of mine.
So it's not just superhero people that you want out of WB. Because I know a lot of people are saying, oh, I want WB games just so they can possibly get some DC stuff.
No, I think Rocksteady is a talented studio. I think Monolith is a talented studio. I think, WB Montreal is a talented studio. And of course, NetherRealm, they're extremely talented. So those would be teams that I would love to come under Xbox. Like, just like Crystal Dynamics, I hope eventually Xbox buys them, because even though the Avengers was a letdown to some people, I don't think it's necessarily their fault. They were kind of forced to do a games as a service with a game like that.
Well, you got somebody that makes Tomb Raider games trying to make a multiplayer loot
games
game
as a service.
Like, that's out of your element. Yeah. I'm not gonna ask Square Enix to make the next Madden football.
Right. Exactly, bro. So yeah, that's my dream though.
Speaking of dreams come true, I wish we'd get an NFL 2K back.
Yeah, they're working on a arcade type of NFL game, because that's all they can do is an arcade. They can't do a simulation because of Madden deal with the NFL, but they are working on some type of arcade version. So
do that and let EA have it. I am done with their Maddens. They're like I can't buy another one of those games. It's just so rinse and repeat.
My God, man.
It's embarrassing.
I bought this year Madden. I don't know why. I bought it, played it like 3 times. I don't like it.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It runs poorly. Like, if you do like the career mode, like I was doing some sort of career thing, and like the beginning of it started, it was like some like 3-on-3 or 5-on-5 kind of competition things. And they're all doing their like stage walkout kind of thing, and there is like arms stretching all over the place and legs going everywhere, and the dude's shoes looks like he's in like some kind of like Christmas kind of elf kind of looking thing. Like, I just didn't understand it. I was like, how is this game actually out? And you guys have a 10-hour trial,
right?
And you guys want me to buy this? Like,
exactly.
Like, fuck no. I played an hour and a half of the 10-hour trial, and then I tried to hop back into it, and it said your trial is over, and I was like, that's fine. That's fine. Like, just get out of here. Right. So yeah, I mean, that would be a dream come true to me, like a real football game to come back out and not be money hungry.
I agree with that.
All right, so one of my last questions to you is, what do you enjoy doing when gaming isn't available? What do you like doing outside of gaming?
You know, I'm actually I'm a family guy. You know, I like to chill with my family, watch movies. I love the NBA, love the NFL, And that's pretty much it, man. And you know, I'm a basic guy. That's it, man. You know, like chill with the fam. I love movies and sports. That's pretty simple for me.
Who's your squad?
Well, I'm from Detroit, so unfortunately, all of my teams is ass currently. Lions is trash. The Pistons is trash. But you know, it's a growing process.
Red Wings.
Yeah, I don't watch hockey like that. Yeah. or baseball. So, but actually, man, the Red Wings aren't that good either. You know, so yeah. But that's something I just like to do. Just chill. You know, I'm a basic guy. That's all. You know.
Okay, I'm sorry for your teams.
Yes,
they are pretty bad.
You know, it happens.
The Lions didn't the Lions just lose a heartbreaker the other day?
Yeah.
I mean, all of them are heartbreakers, but
well, yeah, they lost a close game. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really close game. It was a good one actually. And,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, but there's always that interception at the end to ruin it.
Yeah, always.
Well, I'm a Nebraska Cornhusker fan, if you can see behind me. So I'm very used to like I understand how you feel.
Yeah.
Except, and then the Lions. I don't remember the last time y'all had a good year.
They I think
other than that one time with Megatron and Stafford.
Yeah, but you never they were never last time they were a serious threat to do anything. Had to be in the early '90s when they still had Barry Sanders. They had 1 year they made it to the NFC championship game, and that was the last time they even got remotely close. They just been bad forever, bro. I mean, even the Pistons won. You know, they won a few championships over the years. Look, Lions have just been bad. Like, I'm more of a Piston fan than a Lion fan. My father is a diehard Lion fan. I be feeling bad for him sometimes. He's cussed them out every week, but you know, they're just bad, bro. I don't know how they're gonna fix it.
Since you were a Pistons fan, I gotta wonder, what did you think about the Malice in the Palace back in the day?
I thought it was crazy, man. I remember that night vividly, right? Vividly. I was a little upset because the Pacers whooped the Pistons' ass that night. Yeah. I was sitting there watching TV, like kind of upset, like, damn, man, they got whooped. Then I was like, what the? Oh, Ben Wallace's about to fight. Oh, crazy. Yeah, but when it went down, I was like, oh my God, because I didn't go to games. I used to go to a lot of games back then, but I didn't go that night. I just thought it was crazy, man. I didn't know. I was just in awe watching the whole thing. I thought Ron Artest, you know, might have overreacted. Now the guy obviously shouldn't have threw a cup.
Man, Ron Artest's always mad.
Yeah, but you know, you also can't, you know, you can't go attacking people. You know, you got to get them out of there. You know, tell security. But yeah, that was crazy. But the fans lost it. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's you know, that's a night you would never forget. I would never forget that night. Because it was 2004. I think it was November 2004. I will never forget that night, bro. Like, oh my God, they're fighting the fans. What? The fans were coming on the floor and they was getting knocked. It was crazy.
It was like a for real WWF event.
It was crazy, man. I'll never forget that, bro.
All right. Well, yeah, if you guys checking out this episode and you're wondering what the Malice in the Palace is, I promise, look it up. It is something to watch.
Absolutely.
All right. So, what's something that's interesting or fun that nobody really knows about you that you'd be willing to share?
Well, yeah, some people might know because I mentioned it on the podcast, but I was a basketball coach, youth basketball coach for 8 years in my life, man. I coached girls and boys. It was pretty fun. So, you know, sometimes you know, the parents get on your nerves. The parents get on your nerves. You know, every parent think their kid is Kobe in the making, but they really can't play. Like, these kids are so good, why they don't know how to play? I'm such a bad coach. But it taught me a lot. It's funny that I think about this now. It actually kind of prepared me for YouTube in a sense. Let me explain. I would notice back then that whether I will win or lose, there will always be some parents complaining about something. If we lose, you can't coach. You terrible, Coach Dirt. You terrible. If we win, my son or my daughter didn't play enough. So I know you can't please these people. You can't please people. Somebody's going to not like you for whatever reason. So that helped me going into YouTube because people no matter what you say, like I told you when I first started, I was just a pro Xbox channel, no fanboy stuff. I was just Xbox. I love my Xbox, and PlayStation guys still left comments in my comment section. They still called me out on certain things and went after me. I said, man, damn, I can't please these people. And you also got to realize, even with my content now, I had a couple of Xbox guys said, Dirt, stop talking about PlayStation fanboys. So you can't please people. So you have to do what you have to do. And that's what I learned coaching. Basketball, you can't please everybody. You can't please everybody.
And I mean, it sounds like a really cool idea, but it never works.
Yeah, man. It was, I had brothers or players. Oh man, you need some help. If you're such a good coach, why your brother can't play? If you're such a good coach, why your sister can't play? You need some help, man. No, so it was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
You need to teach this kid how to do a layup at home.
Yeah, you can't even do a layup. You're such a good coach. Yo, Coach Dirt, I'm gonna come to the gym tomorrow. No, you don't need to come. No, I'm coming to the gym tomorrow to help you out. It was crazy, man. I had one parent, it was so bad that he literally went to the principal, was like, yo, I need to be the coach. The principal was like, no. He got mad.
Principal was like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I have a coach. I told you, man. So so that I learned a lot doing that for 8 years of my life. Like I said,
I've been dealing with salty people all my life.
Yeah, man. So I'm used to people not being happy with my content or what I'm doing, or but I would say on my channel the support is like 90% positive stuff. So I like it. So.
That's what's up. All right, the last thing I'm gonna have you do is what I have everybody do at the very end of every episode. I'm gonna have you describe gaming for me in just 3 words.
3 words. My favorite hobby. It's been my favorite hobby my whole life, brother.
That was fast.
Yeah. Well, like you did, prepare me with the questions. So
yeah, but usually people still be on the clock.
No, yeah, it's my favorite hobby. Like I was telling you, when we first got an Atari, I fell in love. And at that time I had to be 6 or 7 years old, but I still remember when I fell in love with video games. It was that back then. And throughout my years, throughout my journey, teenage years, childhood, adulthood, marriages, I had 2, like I said, my first marriage didn't work. Second marriage, I got it right. Been married for 18 years now. And gaming is still a big thing. Bro, my current wife right now, I told her when we first started dating, I love video games. Because my ex-wife, she didn't really like me playing video games.
Yeah, so you had to put it out there here.
I'm not about to stop playing video games. I love video games. And she, that's fine, And here we are 18 years later. But yeah, that's just something is my favorite hobby. That's what I like to do.
All right, that's what's up. I love that answer. That was really good. That was really nice, quick. You were prepared.
Yes, prepared, man.
All right, brother. All right. Well, I want to thank you, Dirt, for being on the show, Behind Them Sticks with your boy Ham Solo. I appreciate it so much, you taking time out of your day. If you guys enjoyed the show, make sure that you like and subscribe. I will have his information in the description, so you guys can definitely get at that. Check out his weekly podcast. Also check out some of the other work that he does. He does some pretty cool reviews of what's going on within the gaming community and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Take a couple minutes out of your day, go to subscribe to him, check him out, see what he's all about. Holler at him on Twitter. Like I said, I'll have all that stuff in the description below. But thank you so much again for being here and taking the time to be with me.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the invite. It was a great conversation, man. I just keep on doing your thing, brother. You're gonna keep on growing, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely. All right, with that being said, we're gonna get up out of here. You guys, see you later. Have a nice day.
Peace out.
Do it! Make your dreams come true! Just